Hi everybody, and welcome to an inbox review of this. The 1/200 scale Avro Vulcan B.2 by Cyber Hobby. Now this is a little bit of a response video. Remember you could do those back in the day on YouTube. To Mr. Moo Model's review of the 1/144 scale Great Wall Hobby Vulcan. No, it's not exactly the same scale, but they're both quite small scales. So when I said I had this one, he asked if I'd do a review of it, so we could compare the two. I got it for $9.99. That's half price. It should have been $19.99, but they're half price, so I went and bought two. The scheme on the front, the anti-flash white with a blue steel missile, is one of the schemes in the box. It's an unassembled model kit with over 70 parts for 14 and over, just the usual stuff. Down here it does say Cyber Hobby. If you turn it over, turn the box around, you can see quite clearly it is a Dragon kit from 2011. Now on the side of the box it does tell you certain things. It tells you it's got detailed engines, the front and the back. It says optional thermonuclear missile assembly. It is not optional, that is a lie. Goes on to tell you other bits about the kit. We'll look inside though. Now it is an open top box, which some people prefer. I don't care. Inside, surprise surprise, there's a kit. 3 grey sprues, 1 clear, 1 set of transfers and 1 set of instructions. My box is a little bit stained and falling to bits. I don't know why. So I'm going to have a look at the instructions first. Cover picture, and then on the bottom we have the parts map with various things that are not used because of other versions. Open up and we have the usual colour call-outs and such. We'll get to the actual instructions though. Step 1 is assembling the blue steel missile in 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces and the bomb bay, and then you are inserting the bomb bay directly into the bottom of the aircraft, and there's gear doors and things like that to put on, and then you move on to the gear. Of course these two sections are optional. You can have it gear down, gear up. Here in step 3 we have the option for the boarding ladder not being used, or the boarding ladder being placed down. So the wheels down, you do get a 1/200 scale boarding ladder. A fairing, I believe, if I'm right in remembering about the Vulcans, I believe that's some sort of ECM system underneath. It was mounted between the engines, and then the intakes with detail on the intakes there on the Olympus engines. Insert those. Small parts, very small parts. Another engine intake. The fin goes on. Then you're on to the seats. There are, I believe, 2 pilots in the kit, but they're not shown in the instructions, and the canopy goes on. Then you stick the 2 halves together, and it's done. There are 2 schemes, an anti-flash white 617 Squadron, Scampton 1962, and once again Scampton Wing 1970 in Lincolnshire again, of course, with the grey-green on top, anti-flash white on the bottom. Note that both schemes come with the blue steel missile installed. Onto the plastic. Okay, sprue A is in 2 pieces. The first piece is the majority of the lower fuselage, and here the bomb bay with the recess for the blue steel missile. Now I've seen a 2016 release of this same kit, and the main difference is just here within the kit. In fact, you can see it's been removed. Why they remove it, I don't know. Just because you get in a different one, why not leave it in like everyone else does? But there is another bomb bay here, which is a conventional bomb bay that just fits into this slot, just like this one would. It's moulded all in one piece. You can see though how it fits, that the top half of the aircraft is actually going to overlap, so the seams will not be on the leading or trailing edge. You can see here's the other sprue just briefly. You can see it wraps round. So all the seam lines will be underneath. Now I believe this kit is also designed to be pre-assembled in China, painted, stuck on a stand and sent out as a pre-built, painted and built kit, and that would, I suppose, make things easier. I read that on a website. I don't know how true that is, but it certainly makes sense. If I bring this up a little bit, we'll see the levels of detail on the kit. So you can see lots of panel lines. All the panel lines are represented, I believe. I'm not exactly an expert on Vulcan panel lines. They do seem quite large for something that is 1/200 scale, but if they were to scale you would probably not see them, and they are popular panel lines. It being anti-flash white, probably, well, the bottom will be, both schemes have a white bottom. I'm not sure how much wash would go into them anyway, but that's the underside of the kit. The upper part of the kit, here we go, has the same sort of panel lines. They seem a little bit finer perhaps, but now you get to see the actual shape of a Vulcan. You get the hollow intakes, and the engines will fit, I can only assume, in this recess here, and the vertical stabilizer and the rudder is a separate piece. So basically it's a two-piece fuselage. It looks quite nicely moulded. Everything seems crisp. There's see here, these trailing edges seem a little bit thick. The wing itself, well, it is a thick wing on the Vulcan, but these seem a little thick. You might have to sand those down a little, but that's not a massive problem. So far from, well, the exterior, it looks like a good rendition of a B2. The third sprue contains all the other parts. So we have the blue steel missile in several parts. We have the intakes, and if I flip this over, I believe you see here, you see the entrance to the intakes. You see the fans. This is that boarding ladder, the 1/200 boarding ladder. It looks like that there is the boarding ladder part that is attached to the crew door. Here we see the landing gear and the wheels, lots of them here, of course. So there is a fair amount of detail. These parts are not used on this kit. I believe they're for the 2016 release of the kit that is a Falklands War version. So it comes with a Shrike missile mounted, I believe. The two fairings for underneath the engines, and as I mentioned, two very, very tiny pilots, which are not in the instructions, but they are there anyway. Lots of small pitot type devices. Let's see if we can look at there's the seat. So there's even little seats in there. Overall, for a 1/200 scale kit, it's not too bad. Now the clear sprue, as it is, it comes in its own little separate baggie. Again, the plastic states that it's a Dragon kit. You get two parts, and the majority of this part will be painted anyway. You'll only get the small windows and two circular windows at the side, so most of this, whether it's got lensing or not in it, won't actually matter. You'll see very, very little through it. But it's crisp, there's no flash that I can see. And as I said, most of it will be painted over anyway. The transfers also come in a separate bag, which it looks like they're going to be difficult to get out of. And you get the two schemes, the anti-flash white, sort of low vis roundels, and the normal ones. Basically two builds. You can do XM595 or XL321. Once again, it's a Dragon kit, but you can see it's printed by Cartograph in Italy, so they are Cartograph transfers. They are relatively matte, seem reasonably thin, and I can't see that any of those roundels are out of register, so it looks like quite a nice set of transfers there. So there you go, that's a review of the Cyber Hobby or Dragon Avro Vulcan B.2 in 1/200 scale. This was mostly done for Neil of Mr. Move Models in response to his review, as I said at the start of the video. They're not the same scale, but can be compared, I suppose, for detail and what have you. So I quite rate this kit, I quite like it. It seems to have reasonable detail for the scale, and me not having much space, 1/200 scale is probably ideal for an aircraft of this size. Let me know what you think to the kit below if you want to comment, and yeah, there's the review finished. All there is left to say is thanks for watching, and until next time, keep modelling and have fun. Bye.